American football in Finland.
That's how good he is. That's definitely the best offensive player. He could play receiver, quarterback, or running back if he needed to.
Try to make them have a run game, which we know that they really don't have.
I like to say he kind of does like he's playing Madden when it comes to the playoffs. He starts doing a lot of weird stuff that you think can only happen on video games, and he gets away with it.
But he ain't better. But in my opinion, he ain't better than Jabari Harris. I'll take Jabari Harris all day. Put that on the podcast too.
American football in Finland.
The voice in your ears right now is Perfect Pervis, and this is American football in Finland. Today, we got a special show doing kind of off-brand thing. The EU championships are being hosted here in Finland this week, so we decided we're going to talk about these games and how the Finnish team has played. Day one was yesterday. Finland beat Great Britain 28-7, so we're going to get into it. First up on the show, I got a couple new guests here today. First, welcome back again, media guru Jabari Harris.
Hey, thanks for having me back on the show. It's good to be back.
And of course, the legendary Coach Q Floyd. Welcome, Q.
Hey, appreciate y'all having me. What's going on?
And a guest that we haven't had on the show yet for the first time, the Finnish national team head coach, Tuomas Heikkinen. What's going on, Coach?
All good here. Good to be on the show.
All right. That's all the introductions. Let's get into it. First thing, Jabari, what'd you see in the game, man? Tell us about it.
Well, for starters, man, I think everybody saw it was clear. The Suomi defense, man, they were very dominant. I think that Kale and the rest of the game, they did a very great job of getting the athletes that they have in place. I think looking at the roster, everybody was wondering, why do they have so many safety and skill guys? And they came out with a totally different defense that we've seen in the past. And the way that they just mixed up the looks and the fronts and harassed the Britain offense, man, it was a work of art. On the offensive side, I think that Great Britain really didn't have an answer for the Suomi run game. It was very, very nice to see about 3 or 4 running backs to get in the game and have success. I think overall, Team Finland, man, I think that Team Finland was very well prepared. And again, Coach, that's a good job by you by getting the guys in camp, getting veterans out there on the squad to show up and really go out there and do a good thing in front of the home crowd. In the second half, it seemed like maybe a little bit of a spark on offense was taken out. But then again, it's kind of like when you're up by 21 points and you know you got the game won and your defense is playing solid, I think it was very smart to just continue to run the ball and just get out of there healthy and get out of there with the win. So from my standpoint, that's what I saw in the game. And I think that the Team Finland looks stronger this year than ever before, have a lot of athletes on both sides of the ball. And it's just I see the chemistry on both sides of the ball because these guys have been playing with each other for so many seasons. And, I think that they were ready to prove themselves because everybody talks about, we only see Team Finland versus Sweden. Well, yesterday wasn't the case. They got out there and showed that they could compete toe-to-toe with a lot of the teams around Europe.
What about you, Q? What did you see in this game?
If I read this right, I believe the Finland national team defense held them to negative rushing yards. I'm not sure if it is, that is major for a game to start off the tournament. I mean, hats off to coach because that is hard to do against anybody. So I know if you go to a game and you keep a team to negative rushing yards, then I tip my hat off to that. Offensively, they got the running game going real fast. Kari and the brothers, the Lahtinen brothers, they balled out, man. Just watching them establish the run game. I've seen a different energy with the Finnish national team than I have in the past. And I think it's because, those guys are happy to play for Finland and play with each other during the season. I think they just feel good. They look good. I can't wait to see, the rest of the games going forward in the tournament because that was a great win for the Finnish national team.
Yeah, I won't add my opinion on here. Hopefully y'all watched the video of Purvis's Corner on the Facebook, on the AFF European Championship page, and that's where you find out what I thought about it. So now's the fun part of the show. We have Coach Tuomas here. Let's ask Coach a couple of questions. Jabari, you get first crack.
So, Coach, first question. Coming into the game, I think a lot of people may have had questions about who the QBs would be and how they would perform. In your opinion, how do you feel about the QB play, and how do you feel about Yane coming in and doing the job that he did? What was the final call for you guys to invite him back and allow him to continue as the starting quarterback for the national team this year?
Okay, that's a good question, and it's not an easy question. I think we had four good quarterbacks at the camp, and we just only can carry two. And I guess the main thing that spoke for Jan more than anything else is that the out of all these guys, he's the most seasoned football player at the end of the day, and he's been around the national team for a very long time. He had a very good camp. And I would say more than anything else is that he's a starting quarterback in the Maple League, so he's in a playing mode. He's in a true in-season mode as a starting quarterback, and I guess that's what worked for him the most.
Hey, Coach, question for me. I just want to know, was that part of the plan to establish the run game first, to not put a lot of pressure on Yanni making plays with his arm? I think he threw for about 115. So was that part of the plan to just get the running backs going? Get the ground game going, the ground out the clock. Was that the plan going into the game?
Yeah, I think you have a point there. Is that definitely we want to run the ball, definitely, but it's not like we only want to run the ball, and that's with Robert as well as I do, and he calls what he sees. So we were talking about beforehand that we might have we could have upper hand, just grinding it in this game. And I'm sure our quarterbacks, both of them, both Janne and Miro, are capable of handling pressure. It's really not about that, but we just wanted to. We started running the ball well, and it started going really well at the point. And we felt that we can control the game that way. And I love running game, and
yeah,
maybe you guys know that, but I'm all about it. So I was a happy camper, and we'll see later on in this tournament. I think that on Thursday we're gonna have to open it up a little bit more. I'm sure, and I have full faith in both quarterbacks that they can get the job done.
I want to talk a little bit about the defense that you guys had going on. Jabari mentioned it earlier that you had a lot of different personnel going in and out of the game. I noticed that you guys had kind of a 3-down lineman set, 4-down lineman. Sometimes you had 5 DBs. Sometimes you had an outside linebacker. Sometimes you had a nickel back. You did a lot of things on defense in this game. I've seen a lot of variations. Was that mostly because of the scheme that you guys were running on defense, or was it more you were trying to be consistent with the personnel of who you had on your team?
It's probably both, but I have to say this, that I think Kalle, and the whole staff that we have for working for the defense, but Kalle as a coordinator especially, I think they have taken our national team defense, personal packaging and to a new level. I really have to say this. I've been on the national team program for a long time, and now it's really all about trying to match the personnel and trying to find the best fit for anything that the other team puts on the field. And I feel it's a strength that we have different looks, different fronts, so we can keep the opposite lines, a little confused maybe, or at least on their toes, trying to figure out how to block this and that and how to protect this and that. And also it's about the athletes, so that we can try to get the best best players out there when we expect them to run hard, and the best players out there when we expect them to drop back and pass. And I think Kalle and the whole defensive staff, they've done a great job building the defense we have. And maybe more than anything else, last night's game was that our D lines is totally dominated the game. And we have depth on D line. I think we have 8 solid defensive linemen on the roster. And so we can keep fresh feet there and go after it, through the whole game.
Coach, if you can describe the performance of the Suomi defense in one word, what would you use to describe the performance?
Last night it was a lion on the hunt.
Coach, if you were playing right now on the national team, what position would you be playing?
Oh, me right now? Oh, it would be a holder or cheerleader.
Yeah. Got you.
But if
Got you.
if I could jump back to the days when I at least as far as I remember when I was able to do something, like I'd be happy to play any role on the team if that would help the team, obviously. So
Got it.
so those days are long gone. I'm happy for these guys. They get to play the best game there is in the world, and they seem to enjoy it now, and they have fun together, and I'm just happy to be on board.
Let's talk about the game coming up. You guys got France. Obviously, they play on Tuesday, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they play on Tuesday, so you won't have any real actual film until Tuesday. But even now, what are your thoughts on what you guys need to do to be successful in that game? We know that in the second half of this first game, the offense kind of stalled in the second half. So what are you guys going to do to kind of make sure that doesn't happen against France?
Well, it's France is a different team. They're a totally different team than Great Britain is, and we have actually quite a lot of information on them because we have their last year's game from the World Games, and we also have a couple of tapes from I guess 2015 when they played in the World Cup, and with the same staff, same coaches. So we have an idea what to expect. They're fast, they're athletic, and they are a very good football team. And it's going to be a whole new level challenge on Thursday. I think the key factor for us is to be consistent. We can't let those fast athletes they have, to make big plays, here and there. We got to be very consistent. We got to play as a team, and especially in defense, we really need to rally to the ball with all 11. And on the offense, I guess the challenge is to be able to mix everything enough so that so that they can just tee off and go after us. So it'll be a totally different game, and it's going to be I would say played at a much higher level than last night was. And challenge for us is to really establish ourselves at that level. I believe we can do it, but we got to play a hell of a game to be winners on Thursday, and that's what these guys are looking forward to do.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you coming by today. Coach Q, appreciate you throwing in your 2 cents. Jabari, always good to have you on the show. Now we're going to go to the final words portion of the show. I'd like to give all 3 of you guys an opportunity to say whatever you want or to whoever you want on this platform, on this podcast show.
First and foremost, I want to say congratulations, Coach, on the first win. You guys are doing a great job. We continue to support you guys and watch you guys excel in this tournament. I really believe that you guys are doing a good job and you have a chance to really go the distance with this thing. So shout out to the entire national team for Finland this year. And Coach, continue to do a great job and good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Kind of to bump off what Jabari just said, just wanted to start off by saying congratulations, Coach, on the win. I've been a part of Finland football for some years now. And every time I see you, I see the passion in your eyes. I see you enjoying the game of football still after all these years. I just want those players to know that they got a great, head coach, a great leader. I always feel like a good football team starts with the head. And Coach, you're a great example of what that's supposed to be. And I just want to say good luck on the rest of the tournament to all the Finnish guys and to the national team. I'm looking forward to the games and just do your thing.
Appreciate those words. Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on this, and good luck to all of you and whatever you're doing right now. And I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys later on. And for the people who are listening to this, I mean, this is almost like once in a lifetime chance to get to see these kind of games. It's been 27 years since the last time, and it'll be great to get a big crowd for the game on Thursday and the game on Saturday. Make that the 12th player, make the crowd, the audience, the 12th player on our team. These guys have been working hard to get to play in these games, and they will bust their ass in the game. I guarantee you that. And I hope as many of you as possible can come to watch it.
I'm actually gonna do a shout out of final words this time, fellas. I don't usually do this, but it's a special occasion. The EU Championships. It's a unique experience, especially here in Finland, to see these games. I went to the first game and I was skeptical about what I actually going to see on the field. It's no secret. I'm not really a fan of national team games with the sport of American football, but I can tell you that these guys are playing good football out there, And like Coach just said, people should come out and watch these games. That's it for American football in Finland today. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. This is a little something we're going to do this week after the games. But, this is Finland, TIF. So we're definitely going to talk about Finland's national team playing football in Finland. Until next week, guys, we appreciate it.
American Football in Finland is now on iTunes. Please rate the show and subscribe today. If you really like the podcast, follow AFF on the Podbean app. Search American Football in Finland and hit that follow button. And for all you loyal AFF listeners, we are now accepting Podbean patrons. Click Become a Patron on the AFF page and pledge your loyalty. Thanks for listening.
American Football in Finland.